This is for
DissociaDID.
big fat white nasty smelling fat bitch. Why you took me off the motherfucking schedule with your trifling dirty white racist ass big fat bitch, overload body ass bitch. I'm coming up there and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, bitch.
Hello. Today I'll be explaining how DissociaDID, DD, is a dangerous fraud who exploits a serious mental illness for money. I'll also talk about how she victimizes children and mentally ill people and how her channel and behavior are extraordinarily dangerous. Now our story starts off a couple years ago, when our middle-aged Asian protagonist decided to get herself diagnosed with DID by DR. Remy Aquaran, a psychotherapist who is not actually a psychiatrist and therefore has no business diagnosing anyone with anything. Not even beautiful Native American women like our lovely DD. Now, even though I'll be criticizing a woman of color today, I'd like for you to please refrain from reporting me for hate speech until you've finished listening to what I have to say. It's clear that DD is faking her mental illness. It's also clear that she doesn't have a bright future in Hollywood, because her acting is so comically bad that only a child or teenager could legitimately fall for it. Or perhaps somebody older who's seeking validation for their actual mental illness. Anyway, I'm not gonna deny that she has trauma. Maybe she doesn't, maybe she doesn't. Who gives a fuck, really? Childhood trauma doesn't excuse you from being a piece of shit. DD stans are going to hate on me for thinking she's faking, so I'll just assume for the purpose of this video that she actually does have dissociative identity disorder. She's still a malingering attention whore. Anyway, remember how I said that her theatrics are most likely to draw in young people going for age 10-19 here? I'm willing to bet that that's a substantially large proportion of her demographic. DD knows this. She specifically caters to and targets children, with videos like her Sims shtick and the altar does my makeup, etc. Also the fact that TikTok is one of her main social media platforms. She is deliberately targeting children. Now, lots of YouTubers target kids and teens. So you might be saying to yourself, what's so bad about that? Well, I'll tell you. DD knows that most of her monetary support will come from children, who are naive enough to give money to a total stranger on YouTube. She frequently peddles scams, like encouraging her viewers to support her Patreon, where people can see never seen before altars, and other horse shit which deliberately and clearly exploits this mental illness for money. DD also often puts ads right in the middle of her dissociational switches. Anyway, it's clear that she's exploiting her mental illness for money and views. Y'all are gonna come at me in the comments saying she's just trying to be educational and help people. Before you comment some recycled horse shit like that, keep watching my video, where I'll address these claims later on. Now, a lot of shitty people exploit or fake mental illness for attention. What makes DissociaDID so special? The fact that she's doing this to children. Look through a typical DD comments section and you'll see lots of children, again ages 10 through 19, who number 1 have been duped into thinking that they have DID without an official diagnosis or any kind of medical opinion. Number 2, white knight this YouTuber and defend anything problematic she does because they now think mental illness is a barrier which unequivocally excuses you from any wrongdoing. 3. Have crushes on the various altars, whose personas she absolutely crafts to appeal to these kids for. Kids who are so afraid to criticize her that they're dishing out apologies every other sentence. These are the kids who genuinely believe that criticism will drive DD to suicide. I feel sorriest for these guys because they're too naive to see how they're being manipulated. It's truly cruel and awful to tell your following of kids that you've attempted suicide or split into a new personality because somebody dared to criticize you. Grow the fuck up. You're a grown-ass woman. A known troll like Trisha Paytas didn't do shit to you. You're claiming to have survived horrific childhood abuse, but when another, harmless, attention whore tries to steal your spotlight for 1 minute, you've suddenly been traumatized beyond belief. Bitch, please. 5. Kids with genuine mental illnesses who are taking misinformed medical advice from someone who is in no way qualified to give it. And let's focus on that last point. DissociaDID encourages people to self-diagnose with DID and gives them tips on how to fool medical professionals into diagnosing them. Despite all of the medical evidence to the contrary, she claims that the proper treatment for DID is to let all your separate alters develop into distinct people. In fact, the proper treatment for DID, which is actually endorsed by medical professionals, is to let the personalities integrate so that the patient can live a normal life. She leaves lots of links in her videos to bogus pseudoscience blogs created by holistic psychotherapists and witch doctors who are not licensed medical professionals. Often she mixes up authors and titles. This is supposed to back up a dangerous medical advice. Whether DID is even a real disorder is widely debated by the medical community, with a general consensus being that if it exists, it is extraordinarily rare and takes a great deal of horrific abuse and neglect to form in a person. Meanwhile, DD is out here claiming that it's as common as having red hair. Which is dead wrong, and a dangerous fucking idea. She's obviously trying to get her fans to empathize with her by duping them into thinking that they, too, might have a horrible trauma-caused disorder. I'm so quirky and relatable, throw money at me now. DD is unique in that she's one of the only DID YouTubers who caters mainly to kids. The other ones, like her fiancé, just touch them. But we're not talking about other DID YouTubers here. Oh, wait, are we? Maybe we should. Don't worry, DID stands. We're just going to be focusing on Team Pedophile, who likes to draw child porn for his problematic partner. DissociaDID has claimed that she had no idea about her hubby's ICP gig, and it's amazing how many people believe this, considering that she posted a fucking video of herself referencing it in conversation. It's the Disney one, I believe, and has since been deleted. I'm sure people still have it downloaded somewhere. Comments section, help me out here. There are a lot of other things I could talk about regarding DD. But I'll just focus on 2 more appalling aspects of her behavior before I wrap this up. Number 1 is that she is the most awful, manipulative, irresponsible YouTuber I've probably ever seen. 1. DissociaDID claims to have been irreversibly damaged by Trisha Paytas' troll video about DID, to the point where she split into a new alter from all the hate. First of all, Trisha Paytas called her crazy. That is all she said at first. Surely a grown-ass woman can handle that without a fully fledged psychological meltdown. 2. What hate, this bitch lives in an echo chamber of praise, to the point where she deletes all comments on all her social media platforms which even remotely criticize her. Her DMs and comments sections are filled with people white knighting her, whatever she does. 3. DissociaDID used a supposed suicide attempt into manipulating people to stop criticizing her. Besides being childish and petty, this is the most whack-ass manipulative abusive shit I've ever seen. If I need to explain why you shouldn't dramatically pretend to have committed suicide to manipulate people, then get the fuck off YouTube. You're either 9 years old or you're an edgy Tumblr-y girl who hits her boyfriend. 4. She literally asked her fans to dox someone. Need I say more? Second terrible behavior trait is her toxic-ass fandom, which she actively encourages. See above points. Many of her fans are fucking delusional, rabid bullies, and the worst part is that they think they're in the right. Some kilo ren shit going on there. There are a million other reasons not to support DissociaDID and her crazy agenda. And frankly, there aren't enough people questioning and criticizing her insane, manipulative, exploitative bullshit. She plays the victim at every turn, when it's clear as day that she's the goddamn perpetrator. That's not particularly surprising, given that she makes a living off playing the victim. But come on, please. Let's get DissociaDID off YouTube. If you want more information about how DD fakes her illness, lied about being expelled from university, and more, check out the Kiwi Farms thread on her. Normally I wouldn't condone Kiwi Farms because they're usually a racist hate site, but in this case the op actually did good research and thoroughly debunked her. No racism to be found except in DD's delusional claims that she is an Asian man.